One of the best events that you can use in Rise of Kingdoms for your farm accounts is the Strategic Reserve event. This comes around every once in a while, and this is actually how you can get commanders for your gathering. So this allows you to get these boxes that give you up to 100 legendary commander sculptures for Cleopatra, Siandak, or Ashita. Now, obviously, 100 does not give you an expertise, but when you have farm accounts, you don't really care about that many commanders. You really only need a couple. And those couple are going to be Siandak, it's going to be Constance, and it's going to be Matilda when it comes to your gathering. These are the top 3 commanders that you need. The reason why Siandak is an important commander is because if you are a T5 player and you need your farm accounts to gather gold, Siandak's expertise is vital when it comes to gathering gold, and that is because she gives an extra 10% of resources after gathering. Now Matilda also gives this with her expertise. So some people might wonder, why would you use Siandak if Matilda gives you the same exact thing and she's an epic commander? And that's a very valid question. But when you look at Siandak, you can see in her second skill, you get a 20% gathering speed bonus, but you also get an extra 10% gold gathering speed. So when it comes to gathering gold, Siandak is the best secondary commander after Constance to use for gathering gold. So if you are doing gold pits, which in most cases you're going to have gold pits most of the time in your farm alliances, you want to make sure you have the best commander possible. So right now I still use Matilda because yes, I'll have faster gathering speed with Siandak, but I get more resources when I use Matilda right now. But once I expertise Siandak on this account, I will be getting much more resources every single time I gather. And I do have Siandak expertise, I believe, on 3 farm accounts right now. You know, I do have 7 farm accounts, so I'm working on my last couple getting Siandak expertise. I did invest more into a garrison pair for stuff like Shadow Legion and just for, security to beef up my farm accounts essentially to make sure that I am actually protecting my farm accounts because I have had them get zeroed before. And that was before I actually took defense seriously on farm accounts and I got looted, I had troops die. So I don't want that to happen anymore. And obviously 1079 is a safe kingdom for me, but there's always going to be a rogue at some point. You can't guarantee your account will always be safe, even if you are in a very safe kingdom, because there's always going to be that one person that's like, oh, I'm going to quit. So I'm just going to go zero all these farm accounts, loot them, and then mess with the Mighty's governor, right? So I've been investing into YSS, and while we're here, might as well just go ahead and expertise YSS on this account just for the content, because why not? Why wouldn't we do that? So now we got YSS expertise on this account, and now all other gold heads can go into Siandak to finish up her expertise in order to get that extra bonus for the gold gathering speed. Now, as you saw a little bit earlier, I didn't showcase it, but as you saw with the Strategic Reserve event, I am currently well in first place on this account. And this was mainly because I got back from vacation and it was just starting. And I had a couple nights where, I was just watching TV, lounging around, I was editing videos. And, I was like, well, there's Strategic Reserve going on. I don't have anything else I'm really doing that adamantly besides editing videos. And so, while I was editing videos, I was just, hitting barbarians on this account. And the really nice thing with farm accounts, I have my farm accounts dispersed, some are closer than others, but with farm accounts, I could not care less about AP. And if you think this is a lot, you should have seen what I had before this event started. I have gone through, probably 100, 150, 200,000 AP over the course of these last couple of days, just going around and hitting barbarians. So as I'm editing videos or as I'm just, hanging out, watching a movie, whatever, I am just, marching around. And then once I get my troops close enough, I go ahead and just kill them. I don't care about the level because, I'm not doing this for gems. I'm not doing this for resources. I'm doing this for the gold heads, or not really gold heads, but, for the Siandak heads. And, obviously I'm well in first place, but these guys are too high up for me to get a second farm account up here. And I couldn't care less about getting this on my main account because, sure, 100 gems would be nice, but I'd rather, spend AP somewhere else, especially since we have Kurok ceremony going on as well. But I kind of wanted to show you guys what exactly I was doing on these farm accounts, and it's very simple. I was just hitting barbarians like crazy. I was not doing the, gather half of a node and then return home and hope I get a box or anything like that. Although one thing I do always do when it comes to this event is I periodically go in and I collect my resources, because in the event, when you are collecting, you are going to have a chance of getting it from city collection. So I'd say like every 5-10 minutes, you want to go through and just collect them. You can see like I just got, how many did I get? I just got 3 more just for collecting resources. So, you know, as you go, you're going to collect, like if you take like an hour of your day where you're just passively hitting barbarians or whatever, you know, you might get like an additional 40 to 50 just from collecting resources from your city, which doesn't sound like a lot, but 40 or 50, like for Fox Filler here, 40 or 50 would put him in 2nd place, or 40 or 50 for Reddington would put him in 4th place, you know? So those small things can definitely add up. And over the course of a 4-day event, you know, that definitely adds a ton. An extra 200 is a huge amount, because like you look at some of these guys, like 200 is, I mean, obviously this is a bigger kingdom, but for some kingdoms, 200 will get you in the top 100 and you'll get something, you'll get some gold sculptures, but you know, obviously the more active you are on the accounts, the better it's going to be. And I think on average, like my other accounts are probably between like, I'd say 200 to 300, because I haven't been on them as much as this account, because with this event, I kind of periodically go between different accounts. So like this time around, I went for Gainz Gaming 8. Next time I'll probably go for another one, just so I can, you know, balance out the amount of AP I'm spending, the amount of healing I'm spending, because obviously I'm spending resources on healing, I'm spending, you know, time on the account. And so then the other accounts are gathering the entire time. So I haven't logged on the other accounts yet this morning, because, you know, I got on and then started recording, but it was already on this account from the other night when I was editing. So it was, you know, just pretty easy for me to just start recording this video and go ahead. But, you know, this is definitely an event that you should be doing, especially if you have active farm accounts. And not only for the gold heads, but like 10,000 gems here. That's, you know, obviously I have 20,000 already on this account because I don't care about gems. But when More Than Gems comes around, which should be very, very soon, I think this weekend, I'll probably gem to VIP 11, because I think that will give me a gathering boost. So 20% gathering speed, I'll get that. Plus I'll get the gold heads from there, so that'll help me get my Siondoc a little bit faster. So, you know, I'm really big into optimizing farm accounts, because I think it's dumb not to, because I mean, you might make the excuse of, well, it's a farm account, who cares if I'm optimizing it? I mean, every single day of optimizing a farm account will continuously increase the value you're going to get exponentially. So the more you can optimize your accounts, if you're buying out the VIP shop every single week, the speed ups, you know, all that kind of stuff, getting VIP in, spending gems, you know, hitting barbarians every once in a while. You don't have to spend all your AP and have it empty all the time like this. I don't do that, but I try to be active on them as much as I can, and I try to gather as much as I can too. This is one of my newest farm accounts, and let's see, how old is this account even? I honestly have no clue. 500 days. So, you know, I didn't have this account when I started YouTube, for reference. Like when I started my YouTube channel for this, I did not have this farm account. This is a relatively new farm account for me. And, you know, I've sent myself 6.1 billion resources to my main, and a lot of that is gold. And, you know, you can see right here, lots of resources that I still have to send over. I have to open up a ton of these. On these lower level farm accounts where I can't really fill with them, I just drain everything. I don't care about any of this stuff. I might leave like these 1,000 tokens, but I'll drain everything else. Like I'll open all this stuff and just drain it completely, because I don't need it. I don't want it. This is all from hitting barbarians in the off season, and, you know, sometimes during KVK as well. During KVK, if you are not hitting barbarians, I don't know what you're doing, because if you have a farm account that's able to hit barbarians, you can like just log on to every farm account. Like I can just go like one to the next, to the next, to the next, hit a barbarian, and then by the time my last account is like sent out, especially with like the new feature of sending out your troops like one at a time. Like if you go, I guess I can't. I'll show you on a different account real quick. All right, so here's another account. So this is my biggest farm account, 51 million power. I'll be draining this one in KVK, killing off troops, because I have plenty of troops to kill off here, as you can see. But what I mean by what I was saying before is, like when you're in KVK and say you have a level 45 barbarian right next to your city, and you just go like this, you just take off hold position after attack, go ahead, new troops, have your selection right here. I always set this when I have an expansion, so that way all the time it's full. If I have an expansion, it'll automatically fill it. You just go ahead, hit March, and then as you send them out, like you can leave the account and it's continuously sending them out. Like you don't have to be on for them to keep sending it, and it's just spending your AP. And then you go to the next account, do the same thing, the next account, same thing. And then by the time you get done, like on my 8th account here, by the time I finish this account, then I can go back to Gainz Gaming 2 and do it all over again. And I've spent all my AP on all the accounts in literally like 3 minutes. And the value there is crazy. And obviously being in a really good farm alliance is really nice too. Especially being able to get into these gold pits is obviously huge. That kind of sucks that this just got built and it's already full almost. But you know, the value you can get from this is crazy. So if you can optimize your farm accounts on events like this, just day to day, you are going to be substantially increasing the amount of resources you can get for your main account. And finally here, I want to show you guys what exactly you get when you do this event, because obviously you're not just getting the commander sculptures, you're getting the resources, you're getting the gems, but you are also getting the supply boxes. So when you hit a barbarian, when you collect resources, when you collect from your city, you're getting those supply boxes. And so when you open these supply boxes, you get a lot of resources too. So let's show you guys what exactly I have so far from being in first place. I have 1,847 points in this event. So let's just go ahead. I have 2,500 to open up. So let's go ahead and just open up all 2,500 of these supply boxes so you can see exactly what you might actually get from pushing this event just periodically throughout your accounts. So 2,500, let's see. So we get 90 silver keys. That's going to give us a good amount of resources too. You know, we have about 7.5 million wood, 7.5 million food, 22 gold keys, speed ups. You know, obviously farm accounts, doesn't matter having speed ups besides, you know, like training troops to kill off. But, you know, the resources in the gold keys especially don't hurt because you're going to get a lot of resources from the keys, from both the gold keys and the silver keys. So, you know, as you go, you are getting this extra value too. So make sure you guys aren't missing out on this event because you will definitely not regret it. So make sure you guys don't miss out on this. Let me know what you guys think about the Strategic Reserve event and if you have ever pushed or what your highest score has been. Personally, I think mine was like 2,400 on one of my accounts. I think that was Gainz Gaming 3 I did that on. Pretty sure I made a video on it. I had to check, but pretty sure I made a video on it. You'll have to see on my account if you want to check it out. But 2,500 was about what I scored because there's somebody that was also on a farm account that was going back and forth with me. We were like fighting for first place and I ended up winning by like 200 or 300. But that was a crazy event. But let me know what you guys think down below on this event and I'll see you guys in the next video.